One night, while camping deep in the woods, this man had set up a trail camera just to monitor the wildlife. The next morning, while checking the footage, he saw this. Standing alone in the middle of the forest was what appeared to be a girl wearing a dirty white dress. What made the image even more unsettling was that the man never saw or heard anyone near his campsite during the night. Shaken by the discovery, he immediately packed up his gear and left the site. So who or what did he capture that night? Was there truly a girl wandering alone through the woods in the middle of the night? And if so, why was she out there? In Oswego, New York, a trail camera captured an unknown individual deep in a remote wooded area. According to New York State Police, the person seen in the photos was allegedly connected to multiple burglaries reported nearby. The images had originally come from a private trail camera placed on a wooded property. Investigators later released the footage publicly while trying to identify the individual. Later updates confirmed that the person had been identified, though officials stated the investigation was still ongoing at the time. Still, the footage left the property owner deeply unsettled, knowing someone connected to crimes had apparently been wandering around his land late at night. TikTok user Hiker Trailcam footage shared a trail camera recording from an unknown remote wooded area. In the footage, a woman slowly appeared between the trees. The poster claimed it showed a drunk girl, but others thought the movement and appearance looked unnatural. Very AI, if you ask me. A Facebook user shared photos taken during a visit to Gettysburg. In the first image, nothing unusual could be seen. But in a second photo taken only moments later, a white humanoid figure suddenly appeared near a large rock formation. According to the person who took the pictures, they felt a strange urge to look in that exact direction before taking the photo. After noticing the figure later, they reportedly returned to the area to check if someone had been standing there, but no one was around. Considering Gettysburg's history as the site of one of the bloodiest battles of the Civil War, the image quickly sparked paranormal theories online. Some people believed it could be a spirit still tied to the battlefield. Others argued it was more likely a person in the background, lighting distortion, or simply the mind interpreting vague shapes as human. Still, keeping Gettysburg's history in mind, it's easy to understand why the photo left people unsettled. David Sneddon, a 24-year-old American student, went missing on August 14, 2004, while traveling alone through Tiger Leaping Gorge in Yunnan Province, China. He was never seen again, and no body was recovered despite search efforts. Chinese authorities initially concluded that he likely fell into the Jinsha River, though this was never confirmed. Years later, in 2016, a South Korean abductee organization claimed it had received reports suggesting he may have been taken by North Korean agents and later became an English tutor to Kim Jong-un. The US government later revisited the case after political pressure, though North Korea denied any involvement. With no physical evidence and competing theories ranging from accidental death to international abduction, the case remains unsolved. This old trail camera footage was reportedly captured deep in the woods of North Carolina back in 1967. One morning, after checking the camera, the man reviewing the images noticed something disturbing in one of the frames. Standing in the darkness was a pale humanoid figure. The figure appeared to have no clothing, and what looked like unusually large hands. Its proportions didn't seem completely human, which quickly led to speculation online. Some people even called it one of the strangest alleged UFO-related images ever captured. But because of the age and poor quality of the footage, no clear explanation has ever fully confirmed what was actually photographed that night. TikTok user Paulosi21 was out on a routine hike when things suddenly turned terrifying.
Hello.
While moving through the trail, he unexpectedly came face to face with a black bear. Realizing he had no bear spray or protection, the hiker tried to stay calm. Using nearby trees as cover, he tried to avoid sudden movements that could trigger the animal, but the bear kept getting closer. At one point, it even grabbed onto the hiker's jacket. For a moment, the situation looked like it could turn deadly. Fortunately, the hiker eventually managed to escape safely, but his jacket was left behind in the woods during the encounter. A Facebook user shared a photo from their first public ghost hunt in Gettysburg back in May 2004, taken near the grove behind a school. They said the tour guide had mentioned an incident from the night before, where a girl reportedly ran out of the woods screaming after claiming she saw a Revolutionary War soldier. Later, when the user reviewed their pictures at home, they noticed something unusual in one of them. The photo appeared to show a large orb in the frame, and just beside it near a tree, they believed they could make out what looked like a pale face with possible clothing details like a uniform when zoomed in. They suggested it could be linked to historical troop movements through the area during the Revolutionary War era. An explorer was live streaming from a forest known for reported activity. As he moved deeper into the woods, visibility dropped and his camera light switched on. While he turned the camera toward himself, something briefly appeared over his shoulder.
Oh my god, my fucking... What the fuck was...
A face seemed to form in the darkness behind him, visible only for a split second before disappearing. He reacted immediately. The stream ended shortly after without any explanation or follow-up, which only added more confusion to what viewers had seen. YouTuber David's Universe documented an investigation deep in the wilderness of Little Creek while exploring local occult legends tied to the forest. During the exploration, the group came across a hidden campsite.
Where's the hair? Guys, there's a tent over there. And there's chairs. Look, there's 2 chairs. Guys, look, there's literally girl hair right here. Is that real? That looks scary, bro. That's like some witchcraft, that's like a witch's hair.
Near the fire pit, they noticed long strands of hair described as looking like a witch's wig, along with a decapitated chicken and objects like cans hanging from branches and a coconut shell placed in a deliberate pattern.
Why is there a coconut shell? Wait, people do this when, what if somebody died right here? Oh, hell. And there's, cans hanging from, a string over there. Nah, Ladder Creek is crazy, bro.
As they approached the tent, something unexpected happened.
Hello?
Is anyone there?
Bro, we're, right here in this campsite. Hello?
Someone there. If you're camping, we're sorry.
Oh my God. Why is there trash everywhere? Should we go? Should we open it? Should we open it?
It smells nasty over there.
Is there a dead body in there? It does one, but there's a bunch of trash everywhere.
Someone in there?
Hello? Oh. Oh. Oh, just making sure you're okay. You okay? Alright, my bad. Oh my God, there's someone in there. There's someone in there. There's someone in there.
Yeah, you see?
A faint voice suddenly came from inside, revealing that someone had been there the entire time, quietly listening as they approached. It turned out to be a man sheltering inside. They left the area feeling unsettled by both the man and the strange setup. What was it all for? One evening, while at home, this person received a notification from their trail camera. When they first checked the footage, it seemed like nothing more than a deer wandering through the area. But after taking a closer look, they noticed something unsettling beside it. Standing in the darkness appeared to be a small figure resembling a young girl. The figure seemed to have long hair and what looked like a patterned dress. Some people suggested it could simply be a child accidentally captured by the camera at night, but honestly, that explanation raises even more questions, because why would a child be wandering alone in the woods that late at night? Fortunately, no children in the area were reported missing, which leaves an even stranger question. Who or what did the trail camera actually capture that night? And if it really was a person, why didn't the deer immediately run away? A girl was in a wooded area near Atlanta for a shoot when she stumbled across this.
Why is there a camera in the woods?
At first she thought it might have been part of the setup, but when she got closer she noticed the camera appeared to be covered in what looked like blood. Despite her hesitation, she decided to check the footage stored on it. The video showed a quiet forest scene at first, until a branch suddenly cracked in the background. A dark, unclear figure could then be seen partially hidden behind a tree. The recording ended abruptly, right at the same spot where the camera had originally been found, leaving no explanation for what happened next. Was this just staged footage for shock value, or had something bad happened to the camera owner? A hiker got lost in a dense forest when he came across a strange structure hidden between the trees. As he moved closer, he found a closed red metal gate blocking a narrow passage. Then, he noticed a low rumbling sound coming from behind the gate. The footage ended shortly after that moment, without showing what was on the other side. Could it have been machinery or an animal? Or do you think the sound was added later? A woman was walking through her neighborhood late at night when she noticed something unusual about 20 feet up in a large tree. At first, she couldn't clearly tell what she was seeing, so she took a photo to get a better look. When she reviewed it later, she claimed there was a faint, almost transparent figure sitting on one of the branches. Could she have captured a spirit or some kind of presence in the tree itself? Reddit user Impossible Team 5997 shared a strange experience after walking through a completely empty field at around 3 a.m. While crossing the open land, something unusual caught their attention. Standing alone in the middle of the field was a single sign that read, "Warning, danger to life." What made it unsettling was there was no obvious reason for the warning to be there at all. The surrounding area appeared completely empty. Some people speculated the sign may have been connected to old unexploded ordnance or restricted land, especially since remnants from past wars can still occasionally be found buried beneath rural areas across parts of Europe. Others thought it might simply be an outdated warning forgotten over time. Still, finding a sign like that alone in the middle of nowhere at 3 in the morning isn't exactly something you'd want to come across. A man living on the Louis Bull Tribe Reserve in Alberta, Canada, shared footage after experiencing something unsettling near his home.
Why not? Yeah, come on out. Come on. Come on. Dude, let's leave.
It began when he heard strange whispering coming from the nearby woods. The voice sounded close, but when he stepped outside to investigate, there was nothing visible.
Why not? Yeah, come on out. Come on.
The whispers seemed to say, "Wanna play?" He called out several times into the darkness. Feeling increasingly uneasy, he eventually contacted police to check the area, but according to him, nothing was found. A person was outside when they found a strange creature on a plant. The shape and texture looked completely unfamiliar, almost like something not from Earth.
Here we have one of the weirdest insects in the rainforest.
But it actually turned out to be the larva of a tortoise beetle. These insects are known for their unusual appearance during the early stages of development. The larvae are small, spiny, and often carry a protective shield made from their own shed skins and waste, which helps them blend in and deter predators. This structure is sometimes referred to as a fecal shield. While it looks horrifying at first, it's actually a natural defense mechanism used before they develop into adult beetles. But I definitely wouldn't have picked that up. A trail camera had captured something that stunned the internet. The footage was quickly linked online to the legend of Champ, a lake monster said to live in Lake Champlain. Over the years, Champ has been part of local folklore, with occasional sightings reported by people near the lake. Do you think what was captured is a real creature? Reddit user StellarAvenger92 shared a video claiming it showed a terror bird spotted on a remote Pacific island.
Aí as Ilhas Patcaim.
In the footage, a large bird-like figure can be seen moving through the area. The uploader suggested it might be something prehistoric or unusual due to its size and appearance. Some people argued it was more likely a normal bird seen from a distance, possibly a bittern or another large water bird, with its posture and feathers making it appear larger than it actually was. But in my opinion, it looks nothing like that. What do you think? A trail camera owner went back into the woods to collect his device, expecting normal wildlife footage, but instead found something very strange in the recording. A deer appeared directly in front of the camera, but its eyes and antlers seemed to glow in a strong orange light. Some people suggested it could be a supernatural spirit animal or a symbolic forest guardian. Others believed it was simply an editing effect, which it probably is, right? Facebook user Rack Junkies shared trail camera photos captured by a man named Christian Griggs, claiming he had caught something unusual deep in the woods of Vermont. The images showed a group of men moving through a heavily forested area at night. Some locals said they had seen similar trail cam footage from nearby areas, suggesting repeated sightings in the region. What is this about? A few friends were driving past a park in Long Island when they noticed this. As they looked toward the playground, someone dressed as a clown could be seen sitting alone on a swing. One of the friends decided to approach the figure while the others kept recording from the car. But just as he got closer, the clip suddenly ended, leaving everyone to wonder what happened next. Some people believe it was probably just someone messing around in a clown costume, maybe trying to scare people for a prank or social media video. Hopefully, that's all it was. A man was outside working when he noticed something strange fall from the sky nearby. It appeared to be a smoking object embedded in the ground where it had landed, but commenters said it looked too artificial and possibly man-made. Others suggested it could have been debris from something that burned up during re-entry. The lack of official confirmation only added to the confusion, with no clear explanation given for what had actually fallen. Reddit user Sharpin70 shared a photo they personally took while visiting the Monte Cristo homestead in Junee, New South Wales, a place often described as one of the most haunted houses in Australia. At first, nothing seemed unusual. But when looking closer at the image, something appeared inside. A small, pale figure resembling a child. According to the user, the barn isn't accessible to the public, and children aren't allowed on the property at all, which makes the image even harder to explain. Could it just be a case of pareidolia, where the mind fills in details and sees familiar shapes, or is there actually something there? One night, while staying at their cabin in the woods, this person received a notification from their back porch security camera. Curious and a little uneasy, they checked the footage. That's when they noticed something strange moving across the frame. At first, it appeared as a dark shape, low to the ground, hard to make out. As it moved, its body looked uneven, with long legs and an unusual posture that didn't clearly match a typical animal. The figure crossed quickly, then disappeared into the darkness. Some believe it could be a common animal, like a dog, coyote, or even a mountain lion, captured at an odd angle. Others think its shape and movement don't fully match anything familiar. Unfortunately, the poor lighting and camera quality make it difficult to confirm either way. Some people were visiting Congers Lake in Clarkstown when they started noticing something unusual moving near the water. At first, it was just a few sightings, but soon, multiple people reported seeing a large snake around the area. Officials later confirmed that several snakes were present, including one estimated to be around 5 feet long. It was identified as a rat snake, a species known to grow even larger and feed on small animals like birds, frogs, and rodents. While the snake wasn't considered dangerous to humans, its size and visibility made many visitors more cautious around the lake. TikTok user Steez05X was out with some friends at night filming when they almost stepped into this.
That's a bear trap. What the f?
Luckily, their friend noticed it in time. As they got closer and looked inside, they saw what looked like a face staring back at them. But they later explained it was actually a bear trap. Thank God they didn't fall into it. And now, let's watch some more trail cam encounters caught in the woods.